I guess we don't really believe that we're in control of our life as much as we actually are. What I learned, what I didn't know 6 years ago, was that I was able to change any emotion I have in my body to a different emotion. I'd been coaching speakers and public speakers and managers and salespeople for close to 10, 15 years of my life. But there was one thing that was missing, and I couldn't find it. Whatever book I read, I couldn't find what was missing. But what was missing was the same thing that I found in myself, which was that my internal communication was messed up. What I was saying to myself was messed up. Before going up on stage, while on stage, when leaving stage, when preparing for my talk. So when I go up on stage now, for instance, I choose, depending on my audience, I choose to induce dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins by 3 different methods. And now when I go up on stage, I've chosen which version of me I want to be, I need to be for that audience. And that puts me into the best possible state of being the best possible speaker. The worst thing I could do, which I have done for so long and which so many speakers do, is they spend the last 10-15 minutes going through their manuscript, going through what they're going to say, just tensing up, feeling nervous. That is actually putting the worst version of yourself on stage. Through this 17 years of darkness, I have found the ultimate key to truly leveling up as a human and as a speaker. And I call that internal communication. And all my other TED Talks, PowerPoint, storytelling, 110 steps, is what I define as external communication. And when you become a master of internal communication and a master of external communication, wow, they are rare, those people. But the great thing is that anyone can learn to master both. Imagine that you're coming home from work, you're filled with what is called dopamine and cortisol, your 2 driving forces. You go into your kids or your family. With those substances, you won't feel, see, hear them. You won't feel their hug. You won't hear what they did during that day. But if you just took 2 minutes in your car before going in, and you looked at a clip which brought out empathy in you, which made you cry almost, and you looked at that for 2 minutes, this means that you have now, by will, induced oxytocin. Now you go into your family. You will see them. You will hear them. You will want to be close to them. It is you choosing who you would like to be in that moment instead of allowing emotions to just come by chance. And then moving this into the public speaking arena, going up on stage. Do this before you go up on stage. Just spend 2 minutes doing this. Something. I look at my daughter, then I go up. Because this will make you instantly present, caring toward your audience. That's self-leadership. And my father passed 3 years ago. God bless his soul. Beautiful human being. I have 2 options to mourn him. Either I mourn him through stress, cortisol, which goes, I wish he was here. I wish he didn't die. I wish he'd come back. That's a destructive version of mourning. Instead, I spent the entire week, every conscious moment, more or less, being grateful for everything that he did. And gratefulness has the great upside of producing oxytocin, which is a healing neuropeptide in your brain. So the 2 ways of mourning in this case would be cortisol, which is destructive, or oxytocin, which is healing. By not knowing this in life, some people then tend to go through the destructive mourning process, and they go in year after year, which turns into depression and anxiety, by just knowing that, hey, if I mourn through gratefulness, it's actually a healing process instead. And the book contains 50 different skill sets like this, which just makes life so much easier, choosing the emotion that you want to go through in the way that you deserve. I ask people to present their favorite hobby without using gestures. No non-verbal communication at all. No facial expressions. Go. And they do that for 30 seconds. And then I say, go 30 seconds now, you're allowed to use gestures and non-verbal communication and facial expressions. And then they go. And then I ask them after, did you increase the volume of your voice? And they said yes. Were the emphasis stronger? Yes. Was your tonation different? Yes. Why did you change all these? I didn't ask you to. And then they went, I don't know, it just happened. Yes. When you start using gestures, your brain looks at that from the perspective that you are excited and then changes and adapts your voice accordingly. So your tonality, your use of voice has an impact on your non-verbal communication, and your non-verbal communication has an impact on your voice. It's all connected. Some skills are called mother skills. Why they're called mother skills is because they impact 20 to 30 other skills. So if you just become good at that one, you become automatically good at 20, 30 other skills, which is magic almost. And functional gestures is one of them. Like, use good functional gestures in your talk, and that will impact 20 to 30 other skills. Another one which is very interesting is volume. So you take a person who has a base volume of 5, you ask that person to just increase their volume to a 6. Not anymore, just go from, if this is a 5, this would be a 6. What's so interesting with that is that just that shift gives an impact on at least 15 other skills. As soon as you increase the volume of your voice, you can see the person standing straighter. Their gestures become more distinct. Their pauses become stronger and better. Their emphasis become more vivid. Their gaze changes based on that they just increase their volume a little bit. It's crazy. These mother skills are madly cool.